Okay, let's start. Hi, everybody. Wonderful to be with you. So, I really have to apologize to you to start off with for choosing a topic that so many people are absolutely terrified of. So, clearing our inner foundation, a lot of people, no, I've done that already, don't bug me, right? So, and some people have, of course, but for a lot of people, there's so many different things in our lives that show us that oh my gosh, there's still more to do. So those of you who know our work, you'll know that we look at things broadly, right? So you consider in terms of past lives, and so you think in terms of our lower three chakras, our basement. So our inner foundation, which relates to our clan, family of origin, our country, etc., difficulties we go through at those levels, and then the emotional, the sexual area, money, etc., relate to the second chakra, and you consider how well your life goes in terms of that, and then the third chakra is self-esteem and personal power. Personal power is tricky because it relates to different chakras. So a fair number of people, I'd say, I don't know what proportion, I'd say 95%, but a lot of people see dealing with our inner foundation as being like the plague. Let me out of here right away. So of course that's why we're going there. So great for you for your bravery for being part of this. Now, I thought about, well, how am I going to talk about this? So many people are turned off by this topic. I already done this and so on. And the world, it's a crazy place, and either they don't need it or I'm powerless or whatever. So instead of talking about it really directly with you, I'm going to talk about, from a different angle a little bit. So I'm going to do a little bit of talking. We're going to do some clearing for you and for your true beloved, if there's one in your life, and as well, then more, of course, more broadly, the broad clearing call. So today we're going to start by talking about camels. So think in terms of your inner camel. So everybody talks about your inner child and your inner masculine and blah 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 blah, and a lot of people zone it out and yeah whatever. But I bet you not too many of you have talked about or heard talk about your inner camel. So what is that? So inner camel is a wonderful thing because it has incredible capacity. So the feet are really big and they could to walk through the desert, walk through all the sand, and they got these humps. I forget if it's camel or dromedary. One of them has two humps. One of them has one hump. So they got power to go for a ways. Now, what if the camel went through some really sizable difficulties growing up? So the humps are, the damage. So they can't store so much water. So they can't go as far. And what about highly sensitive ones? So really sensitive camels, they say, oh, this is too scary, and either I'm going to get overloaded if I drink too much water, or if I go through that desert over there, it's going to be terrible, or, whatever. So, but in any case, sometimes we just have to do it. So, hopefully we'll go through basic training, gradually and so on. So we go through, I'm going to talk in terms of miles today. So I really apologize for people who think in terms of kilometers, but we'll stick with miles for today. So camel has to go a couple of miles. He says, oh, you got it, no sweat, did it, got the t-shirt, and then, okay, well, what about 10 miles? Oh, you're pretty scary, especially the sensitive ones or the damaged ones or a combo. There's so many advanced soul camels that have both a highly sensitive and they have some damage too from this lifetime. But then you think in terms of other lifetimes. So it's pretty scary. And then you go further again There's all kinds of stuff happening on Earth these days in terms of major turbulence. So global warming and crazy politics and et cetera, et cetera. So then we have to go further, more powerful. Think in terms of your inner camel. In terms of do you have enough water? Do you look after yourself? Do you do sustaining yourself? So whether it's inner compassion, self-nurturance, and so on, how well do we do that? So then we have the capacity to have more resilience. We can go further, our inner camel. So then we hang out with other camels and they say, well, life is pretty tough and so on and so forth and oh, watch out. So other people's fears can be contagious. So there's emotional contagion effect. And you think more broadly, you watch the news and they say all these horrible things and which a lot of them are true. Some of them are true news. In terms of for camels, some of it is yikesy. And so we can get shriveled. We shrivel and we go small. So I think in terms of the impact, in terms of having grown up, there's some damage there, and we healed a bunch of it, and some of it is left over. We're not even conscious of it whatsoever. I'm still, by the way, my inner camel, I'm still finding layers. What can I say? So even though I do tons of healing, clearing work over time for myself and more broadly, still finding lots of layers. So in terms of past lives and current life and collective consciousness and carrying the negative emotions of my mother and etc. So I think in terms of you, in terms of that. No, I'm fine. I got it all fixed up. My life right now is a mess. My true beloved over there not behaving, or they ran away, and well, in terms of work, I have a hard time, but then after that, right? So this has nothing to do with me. Even though there's all these very advanced soul teachers that have talked about what goes on in our life is a reflection of unresolved stuff in us. We're saying, no, not me. Those other guys, maybe, not me. So we're going to do some healing, clearing for our inner camel today, as well as for more broadly. So part of what's happening, as you all know very, very well, is that the universe is really working us over, all of us on Earth these days. So it's overwhelming and it's terrifying, and so we end up feeling alone. So the nurturance part that coming from the outside, whether it's a job, is not enough work coming in, or we get kicked out of our job, or etc. We have a really hard time sustaining ourselves, and now even the universe is throwing all kinds of rocks my way. So we can say, oh, we'll fly with the universe, but there may be some parts of us, even 2%, that are going yikes. So it's the inner yikes part that can drive our bus in terms of we manifest what's these unconscious beliefs, and it affects our emotions. So we can do tons and tons of manifesting. There's so many people are talking about you do it like this and like this these days, and the research is getting to be quite precise. And so many people are not doing that great in terms of their inner camels, not filled up so good. So let me see what else I want to say about that. But I know you get it. You totally get it. There are parts of us that are not resolved that drive our bus, and they show up in our relationship with our beloved. And you think in terms of who feels it more. Well, the feminine is built the way the brain is built and so on for people in the female body. There's a strong tendency, it used to be totally clear. Like women feel more the emotions like fear and depression and so forth, and men are more likely to act out, and men are more likely to feel anger. So now, over time, there's more and more of a balance that's happening between the inner masculine and inner feminine and so on. Within us, we're needing to grow both sides, and so in some cases, it's the woman in a relationship that is more masculine in terms of shutting things out and so on, and the male is more sensitive and so on. So there's no such thing anymore as males are like this and females are like that. It's more complex. Okay, that's all I want to say about this. I want us to do some clearing in terms of the inner foundation. So we're talking about gender and sensitivity. It relates to family of origin, whether we were neglected and so on, and as well as our connection within ourselves, or subpersonalities, and our connection with the divine. That's what we're up to today.